that year, George Orwell, that time dictates the agenda. And if you understand the times and you understand the prophecy and you know how to read the signs, you would understand the times. So once you understand that, you will know automatically what the agenda is. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. So we at the closing of the age, your conscious community are all in their little bubbles. And we as a collective have to start pushing these bubbles together. We have to start pushing for Pharaoh and Crumb to do a video on something they agree on. Not disagree, because the things they disagree on, the science will prove that later, because we don't have the luxury of time left in order to clear up all of the misconceptions instantly like that. We don't have, because it's going to take a whole lot of work to put together what happened, unless you know somebody that was there, like at the fall and like was part of it. And that 3/5 compromise individual sometime kind of way became 5/5 realized and said, oh, that's why we had to endure all of this rapage and pillage and colonization and capitalization, suppression and oppression, repression. I didn't know we was that bad. I didn't know that as bad as we was, it made they worse look like they was being good to us. I didn't know that. Whenever that 5/5 realized individual come to tell the story, and these isolated bodies of conscious individuals will have to have found enough common ground to come together as one. And until they find enough common ground to come together as one, the conscious community is the biggest problem to liberation. When the conscious community don't see that the only solution is unity and that they don't have to agree on everything in order to pursue that unity, the conscious community then becomes the problem. So just like a regime, they have to be overthrown. And the only way you can overthrow a conscious community is with a superior consciousness. That means you would have to be 5/5 realized, a full and aware self. As the Kemetic said, man, know thyself. You mean you have to understand the full and total makeup of what you are physically. Multiple systems operating in one organic phalanx nanotechnology matrix. All of these systems are designed to work in harmony based off electromagnetic resonance and frequency. Are you aware of this? Are you aware that when your brain waves shift as your consciousness move up and down the spectrum, various amounts of your whole light body can be regulated as coming in through your pons region in the reticular formation at the base of your skull? Are you aware of this? I mean, you conscious. Dr. King told you about the black dot. Do you even know where it's at? Do you know how to enter it? Do you know how to get through the black dot into the realm of reality and out of the matrix? I mean, you conscious. If you're not the obstacle, you got to be the way. If you're not the obstacle, you got to be the way. And the only way is unity. The only way is unity. Only way to overthrow the same oppressor is everybody that got the same oppressor got to say, hey, man, I don't want him oppressing me no more, man. I ain't participating in his war games. I'm not participating in his war games. I'm going to tell all of these mothers, call your sons home. We ain't finna fight for these animals no more. Tell your sons and daughters to come home because they got sons and daughters as MPs. Every child on this planet got a mama. If the mothers decide to exercise their rights of a mother and call their children home and tell them we not fighting, tell them they can take their AKs and do whatever with them, but we ain't fighting. All the mothers on earth at the same time. Who gonna fight the war for these animals? See, we not paying attention. We feeding our children to their military machines, to their medical networks. We allowing our children to be firms for human organs. We allowing them to be made into all types of food dishes to feed so-called royal families. And all of the time we conscious of what's going on, and none of our actions is stopping anything. But we only got to give 3 orders to clean up the house. 3 orders. The first order, just everybody stop and look like, what the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? But only specific people are qualified according to deeds and service to give the orders. Otherwise, the orders will not be taken seriously, and that's going to be not good for the entire planet if they're not taken seriously by the ones the orders are given to. So you have to look at the spectrum of leadership, analyze it. You got to find the one who's put in the most work and endured the most suffering and still remains in a prominent position in light of all of that. Because in order for that person to remain there, there has to be a greater power than himself to keep him there. There's no leader, black, white, Asian, or otherwise, that can maintain a leadership position in opposition to the collective will of the people unless it's a divine mission. That means that that person has something they have to do that's bigger than them and all they screw ups. And some of the things that they've been accused of may not even be the case. But because we didn't do our due diligence, we don't pay attention well enough. Because we are so conscious in quoting facts that we're not really paying attention to substance, the substance of the day, and how to remedy the situation. So we find various individuals in various positions to give us information. That's what the community should be called. It shouldn't be called the conscious community. It should be called the open information community, because that's all they do is exchange information, but they make no moves that affect change. See, everything is supposed to be to affect change, to improve upon the adverse condition. When what you do doesn't actually make a noticeable change, then you are right, then you philosophizing, you're not actualizing. The philosophy is necessary, but it's not the end of it. You don't stop with the philosophy, because now you have to actualize it by application. This is taking the military strategy off the drawing board and implementing it on the battlefield as a tactic and a maneuver. It's the same principle at play. If you want to be liberated from your oppressor, do not accept any type of disparaging discussion from one forefront brother that's relaying information in relation to another one. Sisters as well. If they say something that support one another, support them, especially when you hear, if like they on a live like I am, and you agree that they said something that supports another unconnected individual, that show them love on that, because that's how they get the unity. They get to see that the people want them to work together. They'll work together because the people demand it. It's simple supply and demand. The people get what the people want. The customer always right. If the people want freedom, the only thing they can do is push those like minds together and make them work. Make the think tank. Put the problem up on the board just like they do in math school when all of those physicists get together to figure out how to get this space probe from Earth to Pluto. An insurmountable obstacle. They go and get all these physicists, these mathematicians and scientists, and put them all in a room, get a big old chalkboard and say, here's the problem, solve it. And they shut the door on it. And they come back with a solution to the problem. And we don't do that. So we see it work for them, and we still don't do that. Now, that got to be some form of insanity. Because you see what works, but refuse to use what works in pursuit of that which absolutely do not work. Divide and conquer has never liberated anybody. There is no record in the history of the world, in the ancient tablets, in the etheric record, and I read them all, and I have not found anywhere where divide and conquer was an effective means of liberation. I found divide and conquer, I found a subjective group of people being oppressed and suppressed. As long as you allow that divide and conquer to stand, your oppressor remains victorious over you. So wherever you see a conscious brother that you know do the work in the community, request that brother to work with another brother that's totally unrelated to, if he's a Hebrew Israelite, ask him to go work with an FOI. We don't care about what y'all don't agree on. We want to know, what did y'all find that was similar in the teachings of Elijah Muhammad and the teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh? What did y'all find in common? What do y'all find in common between the teachings of Malachi York and the teachings of Ben Ami Carter? What y'all find in common? What did y'all find in common between what Dr. Dean said and what Claude Clegg said? Whatever they is, let's try to find, because when we find all that common stuff, we started to realize that all the stuff we was divided on was decoys. All of the things that we using to stay divided is a decoy. It's like you want to go duck hunting and you go get you a string of decoy ducks and you throw them in the lake. But I only got like 4 videos on there because I haven't really been doing YouTube yet, because I've been trying to give these people the opportunity to come and do what they're supposed to do. And they got me sitting on standby. I ain't got no problem with being on standby. I've been on standby my whole life. I'm just tired of hearing these motherfuckers talking about they conscious and they aware and they know what's going on, but they can't fix the goddamn problem. I'm telling these motherfuckers, if they get off their goddamn hands and do their part, this shit is easy. All you got to do is take 3 steps and use your power. The whole world gonna stop. It's already written. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Diane, it's right there. Morpheus Magus at YouTube. Yeah, right now I'm trying to get off all social media. I'm trying to get into a more practical reality of putting these sisters together. So once they gotta meet, right? There's a group of sisters that I communicate with on social media that are very powerful sisters across the country in different locations. And they all got a role to play in the rebuild structure. In the structure for the rebuild, when they all do their part, it worked like, it's like putting the dream team together. Every one of them loving, beautiful, kind-hearted women that want to see this shit stop. They're sincere, and they doing their part. You know, like Portia helped me do my research, and if I need her to look something up, she's my personal research assistant. And Aisha, she in California, but she has to run the Department of Education or the Rites of Passage programs, because we're going to get out of the Western concept of 4 walls, trap your mind, slow your child's brain down education, and we're going to get back into the God mind training, where we try to speed the brain up to grasp information faster. You're teaching them with the wrong structure. So a baby is born with no knowledge. And when we start teaching them, you're supposed to teach them building blocks, colors, shapes, alphabet. But when they get into really learning, then the next thing after the alphabet, you teach them phonics. And after the phonics, they got that now, Then you teach them speed reading. And once they can use the phonics to speed read, then you give them the biggest dictionary, the most comprehensive dictionary of the English language that you can if you're in England or America or English-speaking country. Whatever country you're in, it's the same principles apply. Once they learn speed reading, you give them the dictionary, the most exhaustive dictionary in that language, and you run them through that for about a year. Read the entire book over and over for about a year. Don't try to memorize it, just read it. And all you're doing is you're giving them all of the meaning of the words in detail. The better they can understand the meaning of the word, the less effective the spell is on their psychology. The faster they can assimilate the information, the faster that they can see the deception in real time. That's why they don't like speed reading, critical thinking, and practical problem solving classes in inner city educational facilities, because those things takes the brakes off. If you ever notice, you got average children that go to average class. Then you have those who they say is below average. They send them to what they call a special educational program. And then you got what they call accelerated into college prep and classes for the gifted. Well, there's a German model. It's called Realschulen, Volksschulen, and Academia. Real schooling or Realschulen is the homonym for the English real schooling. Volksschulen, which most children go to, is a homonym of the English equivalent of false schooling. And academia is where you send your upper echelon minds for what they call it, it's called academia flat out, but it's a three-tier educational system. It's to separate the brightest children, extract them from the masses, those whose brains they can't slow down, and fit into the realm of what you call normal, average, mediocre, in the middle, C child. Your A, B, C, D, E, or your 1 through 5 grading methods are bullshit. All that is a measuring tool for money. It don't have nothing to do with what your child learned. It don't have anything to do with whether your child learned or not. I was a functional illiterate with a 3.75 GPA. I was a functional illiterate. And I got kicked out in the 10th grade as a functional illiterate. How the fuck that I can't read and I can maintain a 3.75 is beyond fucking me. I had to teach myself how to read correctly. I had to learn the dictionary. I had to raise myself from idiot to genius on my fucking own. I mean, it wasn't no easy job, and I did have a lot of help. But the fact of the matter is I had to find my own determination to not accept the bullshit. I had to find my own drive to overcome the oppressor. Yeah, Don, I got a couple of sisters down in ATL. Hey, Portia, ain't no topic. We freestyling today, sweetie. If you got any questions, just throw that shit out there. If it's stick, I'm going to answer it. Hey, look, I done been all over this country, right? And I done seen all kind of females from all walks of life. And believe it or not, I was shocked to find the most loyal females grow up in gang culture. That blew my wig back because it's so outside. Yeah. It kind of like took me for a loop because I never expected the women that know how to work together in a group, know how to function in a household with a male leader. But remember, the women are actually running the show, but they know how to keep that man in power. And they know how to work together in raising the children. Now, these supposed to be the derelicts, the worst. This is gang-banging females. And out of all of the gang-banging females, the ones that I seen do the most remarkable hold you down ass shit than Bloods and Crip females. I haven't seen it nowhere else in the country on that level. They so out cold, they come up in your crib and reorganize the house like that in the click. They bringing what you need. If they think you worthy, they bringing everything you fucking need right there. Okay, let's get this party. Like if I was in LA right now, I couldn't sit at home like this. If I was in California, there's no way them sisters in California would know that I know the shit that I know and leave me sitting in a goddamn house. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It can't happen. It's not possible. They psychology, they makeup, and their character is totally different on the West Coast and any other part of the country. They all ready to ride. I got in my saved videos. I'm probably going to post it up as a comment in this video. See if I can get it from another place. They already know what the call is, right? I'm going to prove it to you. West Coast sisters already know what they supposed to be doing. They already know. I'm going to show you. I got to go to my saved videos. I'm going to post this video in the comments. I wish I could post this mug and up on the side of the screen with me. And where y'all could see it. You know, in the black community, we used to dread prison worse than anything else. Prison used to be the worst thing you can threaten us with. And then we started marching for civil rights. Right? Once we started marching for civil rights, stuff started to change. Because we didn't fear prison no more. We didn't fear getting locked up or jailed. Fuck that shit. And you know what we do? See, black people are natural alchemists, whether they accept it or not, or whether they know it or not. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Black people are natural alchemists in the respect that all of the bad shit that get dumped on us, we convert that shit into something good. Every goddamn time. Look, they gave us a name, niggas. And it was the most vile thing in the history of the world anybody could be called. And we turned that shit into a term of endearment. My niggas. We turned that shit into some good shit. We love being niggas now. Nigga ain't nothing like being a nigga. Everybody want to be niggas now. But there was one point where if you called a person a nigga, you gonna get your whole motherfucking back broke. The whole clique gonna rain down on your motherfucking ass with the wrath of rod. I'm not bullshitting. Now, this is alchemy. We took what you intended to hurt us with, we turned that shit into a term of endearment. You know, we turned that into a whole way of life wrapped around a negative thing that we turned or attempted to turn in our community into something positive. So now, while everybody thinking that they hurting us by calling us nigga, it ain't nothing new. We was trying to figure out how to make that flip anyway. All you got to do if you want to know how long we've been trying to get over the sting of the pain of being called a nigga is read Richard Wright, Black Boy, I think it's called, and he got a part in there where he's talking about how the brothers be hanging on the corner when ain't nobody else around. They try to when ain't nobody else around, they call each other niggas to try to see who was the toughest and who could take it. Call me a nigga, I can take that shit. Master don't run shit here. So now here I'm gonna try to post this video of these sisters in California. And I don't know if y'all gonna understand what y'all about to see. We're certain stuff, but I'm about to show it to y'all. You got the niggas to try to see who was the toughest, who could take it. Call me a nigga, I can take that shit. Master. Okay, so now I just posted in there. I just posted in there the link. Now, right here, I'm going to pin this comment. Right? Okay, so now the comment that's pinned is the video showing them sisters in California know that they supposed to be going to the water. They know they supposed to be wearing the white dresses. It's actually the dress 19 from the Nation of Islam, by the way, by Tanetta Muhammad. It's the correct garb for the upcoming ceremonies, because it was designed specifically for the women in the upcoming liberation campaign of flipping the grid, and it had to be free flowing so that we can infuse parts of ballet and classical dance that would accentuate the flow of the gown to give it the appearance of like when a group of women together and they make certain movement, it'll look like a white cloud on the ground moving from a distance. So that was the purpose of that outfit being created by Tanetta Muhammad. And notice she called it the dress 19. 1 and 9, beginning and ending, Alpha and Omega. It would have meant the same if she'd called it the dress 10, beginning and end, Alpha and Omega. 9 being the fullness of the birth, 9 months in the initiation or first entry being at the Alpha or the number 1. You bring the Alpha to the Omega, you bring the beginning to the end. And this is the whole trick. We got to take the best shit that we used to have, the best shit we got now, and throw away all of the garbage. And so what I have to do is I have to find a big enough facility for my teachers to bring their families, entire families in, or these teachers are going to be women. Some of them going to be married. Some of them are not going to be married. But they're going to all have different jobs, but we have to be able to have the room to facilitate everybody in order to make this happen. Yeah, man, look, that video, if y'all get to watch it, that I got pinned on here, that video show you all these sisters, they have this drive. They don't know what it is. They know it's there. They feel it. You can look and you see they all confused. They don't know what they supposed to be doing, right? But they know they supposed to be doing something at that water. Well, they made 2 mistakes. From the standpoint of what they're doing, the first mistake is they're supposed to be in fresh water. They calling the wrong mother at the salt water for the cleanup, because she don't play no, she's stern. She's more stern. But the right one, the correct mother or the correct goddess is from the fresh water. Now, once we start these training to flip the grid, there would be a series of women in various age groups from pre-puberty to senior citizen, post-menopause. The older women have to have the vigor of a young woman. And that's another video I got that'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll be saving videos that can illustrate the correct formula so that you can see what I'm talking about. Now, the older women are like the guides. The whole thing is to tie the wisdom to and experience of the elders to the vigor and bravado of the youth. When you're 20, you'll do some shit at 20 that there's no way you're gonna do when you're 50. Ain't no way. You don't have the courage to try no shit like that when you're 50. The same stuff you do when you're 20, you're not gonna do when you're 50. You learn so much stuff now, you already know that the consequences outweigh the benefits to such a degree that I'm not going to even put myself in that path. And so when we build the structure, we actually supposed to be building a building. The building is supposed to be shaped like a big ass donut. And in the middle of the building, all of the children comes out, and you cover it up with plexiglass with air ventilation around the top so that the rain can drain to the outside as opposed to the inside. And then you can still have an open air in the middle. And then all of the children is supposed to go to in the morning, because some people are going to go out to jobs in the street while some people stay in the community and work with children and work with the women. Now in there you got your education, your doula center, your rites of passage. All these things is taking place at the same time, but you also have the formation of the pyramid structure of your family, with the head of the household at the top, which is always a pair, and it trickles down according to the needs of the community. And this is the purpose of this pyramid symbol, is showing you structure. It's all it means, structure, organized, order, and structure. If it's disorganized, you can't have a pyramid, square, or a circle. It's going to all fall apart. If it's not, it's chaos. And so if you want to take the order out of the chaos, you know, this is the structure. Akshita, you already know this subconsciously, and you kind of like running from it, but you know what you're supposed to do, and you're gonna do what you're supposed to do because that's just who you are. And a lot of people are gonna be taken aback because you don't kiss their ass, but you can send them to me so I can cuss them out and tell them to kiss mine in your stead. Yeah. Anyway, so you already know. It's in your voice when you speak, and that's why I told you that the sisters need to hear you speak. The same with Eli. She good. She out of Chicago, and I post some of her videos too. And the Fairy Thug Mother, that's my baby. She out cold with the knowledge. And it's a couple more sisters on there. I can't name them all right now but the information and the sharing with these type of women that creates the family structure. These type of women coming together is what generates the energy. See,
Freelad Hoover Cyber Parade and giving her the opportunity to come and ask any questions she want. She said she knew enough. She was quoting the shit out of me in her video, but she think that for some reason I'm on some bullshit, some making some shit. Whatever the fuck she think. Then I had several people message me and ask me if Larry, this is the funniest shit to me, if Larry worked for them people. I said, that don't make much sense to me because who would be willing to work for them people being locked up for 50 fucking years? Cause shit ain't even reality. But the COINTELPRO, which I'm not going to play none of their videos today because I'm not going to let them delete this one. But let me get done with these invites and we'll get into this subject matter. Because it's easy, people is easily, alright, that look like that's it. So, people quick to say, to post some dirt on a motherfucking name. Don't know shit about them, never met them, but they'll throw some dirt on their name. Right? They be talking all that old, I'm holy rollers, spiritual woke shit. But when they confronted with the opportunity to determine if they really spiritually woke by putting that shit to the question, these niggas run. Right? So since they like to put slander on people's name, you need to understand the strategy of what they call hang them in effigy. An effigy is the image of a person. So when they say hang them in effigy, you don't necessarily have to kill the person to destroy him. You destroy their character. You destroy. You talk about them about shit you don't even know. Accuse them of making alliances. Jay-Z is the Illuminati and all that old kind of shit. Ain't now one of y'all seen Jay-Z go to one motherfucking Illuminati meeting. Y'all seen him throw up some Rockefeller signs for his record label and say that make him be the Illuminati now. That's the most dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, but I entertain it Cause it's entertaining, but it don't have no truth value to it. With me, it's more of entertainment, right? Like I like to watch The View. I like to watch Carson and Daily Show. I like to watch motherfucking Fox. I like to watch wrestling. That shit for entertainment. That shit is not to tell me what's going on in the world, but I can use it to read it like an oracle just because I'm psychic. Right? So, well, seeing him forehead to forehead with Marina Abramovich don't make him Illuminati. It can make him an ignorant ass nigga that don't know who the fuck she is. Right? So I'm saying is or is not. I'm talking about the nature of slander and showing how we have evidence to come to a conclusion based off of interaction with a person. Somebody can be good as hell to you and be the devil to another motherfucker. So now all of a sudden, do that make you the devil because the person that's good to you was the devil to other people? Not necessarily. Right? So this is how you end up with the bad guys winning over the good guys. Right? The bad guys win over the good guys because don't nobody care if Bill Clinton fucking little girls on Epstein Island on video. They more concerned about is Will Smith in the Illuminati? Is he into the adrenochrome drinking? I wouldn't give a fuck which one of them motherfuckers. Whoever did the dirt need to pay for the dirt. But if you watch how the human species move, the lowest form of energy exchange is called gossip. When a motherfucker don't know what's going on or they don't understand something, they gossip. They make shit up and they spew inflammatory rhetoric on top of something they know nothing about. But then when they find out they was wrong, now they dumbasses be sitting there looking stupid. Right? So everything ain't what it look like because it ain't supposed to be what you see. Motherfucker can narrate what you see. They can communicate what you see between them. And you will only see what the enemy wants you to see. That's why I told y'all, like when I was talking about that Isis Wisdom and her fraud shit she was doing, I didn't have no personal gripe against her. Like, I don't know her. Him, it, whatever the fuck the motherfucker is, I have no personal affiliation, but I do know this, that I'm always concerned when some strange person that I just meet come to me with some top secret information for no apparent reason, unsolicited. That always gets my attention. Who the fuck am I to make me so important that you got to give me this G14 classified top secret information? Where the fuck did you get? What make you think that you need to get beat it? How you know I'm the right motherfucker to get information to? Why you give me this information? I'm just supposed to take it and do what with it? What you want me to do with it? Oh, you said do what I want to do with it. So when I tell y'all I'm dragging somebody the fuck out, I drag them the fuck out because I got the evidence. I don't just slander people. I let them slander their goddamn self by their slanderous deeds and actions towards others. I done told them 1,000 times, judge not that ye may not be judged, because the same measure by which you judge other motherfuckers, that's the motherfucking stick you judging yourself by, because the only person can judge you is you. You your own judge. So while you so busy trying to condemn everybody else, you condemning yourself if you don't know what you're talking about. Because if it turned out that this person is right, I'm going to turn out to be right. 22nd tomorrow, motherfuckers, and I'm going to turn out to be right. When we get done hijacking this free Larry Hoover shit and fucking the algorithm up, hitting them in the pocket, I'm going to turn out to be right. At the end of the game, I'm going to turn out to be right. I done told the truth every step of the way and gave y'all the motherfucking supporting documentation to show y'all I'm telling the truth. And then I'm going to turn out y'all who was behind this dirty ass shit and what we had to do to overcome the obstacle. I'm gonna be fucking right. I don't give a fuck about who don't believe me. I didn't come in this shit for beliefs. I came in to give y'all what I knew from our culture, how we determine who our leaders is in our regular culture without no motherfuckers settling on our territory as colonizers. Right? So when I turn out to be right, all them motherfuckers that was telling them lies and it sent their little cronies that they got deceived 100% to antagonize motherfuckers on my page, go to the back door and accuse motherfuckers that they know nothing about, right? They must not understand how I rock in order to even think that I will have a motherfucking infiltrator sitting next to me and not know it. I could smell the motherfuckers. I know the motherfuckers that don't mean me no good, the same as I know the motherfuckers that mean me all the good in the world. And I know how to separate myself between the two. Right? I'm skilled at this shit. I know all of the strategies of the enemy. From the motherfucking Asians to the Russians to the motherfucking Italians to the Greeks. I know everybody military strategies. I've been studying these motherfuckers for years. And they keep doing the same dumbass shit. And we keep falling for the same dumbass shit. And I keep laughing because we keep falling for the same dumbass shit. It's a repeatable cycle. Find the motherfuckers who's supposed to be at the top, disgrace them to the people so that the people never demand that they answer for their condition. Because if you make them answer for their condition, then the frauds got to get out of their fraudulent position in order to let the rightful motherfuckers speak for what's going on. So when I get done being right, and when we get done getting the attention of the people, our people, we don't need the enemy attention. We don't need none of them niggas that's from Africa. We don't got no personal gripe with them unless they came in with the enemy doing the enemy bid. We don't got no problem with the motherfuckers from the Middle East, from the Far East. Right now, this is family business. This is about the family unifying together to get these motherfucking, get our shit. We know who the leadership is. All we got to do is use the oral tradition, right? So we're going to fuck their algorithms up to let them know that we putting it in the public domain, right? So you slander somebody. This is a COINTELPRO prime motherfucking tool of operation. The slander lays the foundation for them to do the dirt to the righteous uncontested by the masses. Larry ain't our savior, we his. We got to get Larry. Why we got to get Larry? Because Larry represents each and every one of us. He represents Angel Bay. He represents Big Tookie. He represents Asada Shakur. That's why. He represents you. He represents me. The fact that we can focus our attention on one motherfucking leadership on the land from us that we know is ours, right? And we know it's ours because of the way that the government treat him. They ain't treating theirs like that. They treat ours like that. Ain't got no they create a motherfucking criminal enterprise in order to put them in and then accuse them of it. But we so busy following what they say is the news, the mainstream, that we just go along to get along bootlicking ass niggas. You know? So long as they know that all they got to do is put on the news that you's a criminal and you already convicted, then they just put that shit on the news and be done with your dumb ass. And this is why nobody won't step up in our community to do nothing to help none of us. When a motherfucker get on top, he don't want to come back and help a bunch of rotten ass motherfuckers that pulled and tugged on him like crabs in a bucket all the way to the top. That's not the way this shit go. So I got the Knox from Malachi for the Nuwabians. So if y'all know any Nuwabians, make sure y'all tag them in this video, because Malachi say when he get back, he finna set the record straight among those who did the dirt in the community, because those were the actual infiltrators in the Nuwabian nation. He knew who they was the whole time they was there, but he had to leave them there in order for us to get to the point where we can see how they work. So when he gonna send y'all a message through the young elder. For y'all who know who young elder is, he gonna send the family message. You probably won't get the message because that's who the message is gonna come through from Malachi. So I don't know if it's gonna be for the public or just for the family that's close over there where he at, but he gonna give young elder a message to give him. I don't know young elder, never met him. I heard him a couple times on YouTube, but that's what the message is for the Nuwabians, right? Yep, the young elder on YouTube. Malachi sending Nuwabians a message through young elder, right? And I don't know if it's going to be a public message or a private family message, but young elder going to have a message for the Nuwabians, and it's going to be fresh. So tomorrow we're going to get into the cyber parade and the hashtag Free Larry Hoover.